Here inside the Peterson at the Bruce Meyer family collection. It's called Splendor and Speed. And you're about to see some amazing cars. The Mercer here is easily $1 million car. You wouldn't expect it, but it is. And back in the early days of 1913, this guy was making 90, able to go 90 miles per hour. Phenomenal. 5-liter inline 4. And on these old ones, you didn't have a headlight the way we know it. You had to light the lanterns. Can imagine going that fast in this automobile. Beautiful Mercer. Over here we have a Jaguar. Green Jag is the way to go for sure. 1957. Formerly owned by Steve McQueen. Wow. It's that Jag. Ooh, GT40. Awesome color. Let's look at this vehicle. Gift. Wow. You never know what you're going to find here at the Peterson. Wow. What a striking automobile. Look at the fenders on it. It's just a phenomenal collection. 1937. I don't have any idea what this Rolls Royce is worth, but I can't say I've ever seen another one like it. It's a Phantom 1. Produced this from 1925 to 34, I believe. At least it says here. 25 to 34. 7.7 liter engine. Oh my gosh. It's just hard to believe this car actually went down the road. It's so striking. You think of Rolls Royce, you think of nothing but the best. But I don't think of anything like this.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Deep Dives at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Today we're going to be talking about our 1937 Delage D8 120 Coupe Aerosport. During the mid-1930s, Delage came out with a D8 120 chassis. Unusually long for the day, with a straight 8, 4.5-liter engine that happened to be mated to a Total electromagnetic transmission, the kind of transmission that you could shift gears without using the clutch. The chassis came in different lengths.
In the collection, we've got some others that more commonly known. 32 Ford, it looks like.
Luxury coach work. This particular car is built on one of the unusually long chassis that you wouldn't think would be right for a sports car, but in looking at it, you wouldn't imagine that it could be anything else. This Delage was styled by the Tourneur et Marchand, a French coach building company, or carrossier. Now back in these days, what you were buying from Delage, or what was available from Delage, was just the chassis if you wanted it. And you would take that chassis, which was complete with the engine and running gear. Whatever coach builder you chose would build a body according to your own individual requirements. If you wanted a 4-door, you got one. If you wanted a 2-door coach, you got one. If you wanted a 2-door cabriolet or roadster, it was yours.
A little boat.
But the Tourneur Marchand made a very small series of only about a dozen coupe Aerosports. And we have to remember that during the 1930s, a lot of people were looking to the sky for their inspiration. And they were coming out with unusually sleek vehicles. Whether or not they were scientifically aerodynamic really wasn't the point. It was just that they looked good. They had sloping rear ends, and some of them even had a hint of a fin on the back, just like this Delage does. This Delage also is unique in the fact that it has pillarless styling. I think people remember in 1949 when the Buick Riviera was introduced, it had hardtop styling, which meant that when you put the front side and the rear side windows down,
some of the cars
what they call a B pillar
produced that we just never even hardly heard about.
Completely open, so it looked
so well done. It's sad it didn't make it into
a little bit sexy.
Bigger production
run. Delage and
that's what makes it so special too.
That did that back in the mid-1930s. They built a very small series of only about a dozen of these.
This was Italian.
Some of them had fender lines that started in the front, blended into running boards on the side, and then finished on the rear fender. Others had separate front and rear fenders with just a step area for you to get in the car if you needed to, because the car was so low, you really didn't need it, but it was, in a way, it was
We're going to conclude our short tour today
that,
with Bugatti.
A lot of people stuck with, because sometimes they thought that running boards just had to be there. Earliest Volkswagens even had running boards.
Look at this
Getting into the Delage,
Just
one would open the doors that are hinged at the back. And it's actually easier to get into a car that's positioned this way, because you sat in and then you swung your legs around. It was a lot more convenient. The problem with the suicide doors was, and in a way the name kind of gives it away, is that if the door was ajar and you were going down the road at a pretty good clip, the windscreen might just pull it open and pull it back and even pull it off sometimes. So they don't do that anymore, except on certain very high-end cars.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the tour.